Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to episode number 10 in our FTB Oceanblock series. I have several things that I want to work on. One of them is upgrading our sluices to the netherite level now that we have netherite coming in. Because if we go over here, have over a stack with debris already still coming in. System running and chugging away forever because it can make more lava than it needs and it make more basalt than it needs. So that's good. Another thing I want to work on, and I have some dirt sifting here, loosing here for that purpose, is I want to set up some farms. I also want to go explore the nether. I also want to explore deep underwater. A lot of things I want to do. But a lot of those things need power. I'm going to expand my farming. Definitely need more power for the planters. If I want to go into netherite sluicing, netherite sluices need RF to run. Then we can start doing fortune on our things. But it needs power. It needs power to get it going. Even if I want to go exploring the deep underwater, I need to have Seamoth. But it takes energy cells that need to be charged. Power. So there's definitely time to do the power episode that I said I was going to do last time. So first things first is we need to get a way that we can transfer power without all these cables. And our mob farm from the last episode enabled us to do that because we just need ender pearls to make the Flux network stuff. So I'm going to get together a bunch of different crafting ingredients that we need to make our Flux network. And also I have a lot of Flux network things I've gotten as rewards. And once I have all them together and we can get started, come back. We also have this quest, which is a really basic quest. We have this quest line to go through. So let me gather everything together and then we'll get started on getting our Flux networks set up. Next item I need for Flux networks is a source of obsidian. And so I set up a drawer here, and I had a very delightfully complicated system using new smeltery and all these different complicated things to do. And it just didn't work out because I couldn't get the fluids for the lava and the water to pump in. So instead, I'm using a material stonework factory. This one I actually got from a reward, and so I figured I might as well use it. They're not terribly hard to make. They are all stuff we've done before. We get pink slime and netherite to make the advanced machine frames, and the pink slime balls from pink slime. All very easy done. So I just used the one that we had from our quest reward. Is why I waste it. And so then I ran power and lava in. I put water in, but we don't need to have water go in continuously because it doesn't consume the water, it just consumes the lava. So now it'll continue to process that lava into obsidian. We're using a little bit of power. I didn't worry too much about that power line. Just run across the floor underneath over to our latex machine. But once we finish our Flux network, we'll just go back in and we'll pop on wireless power and get rid of that cable. So it's using the lava from over here, which I'm okay with because this lava isn't used very often whenever we run the smeltery. So this will fill that back up before it fills this up. And this will stop you consuming lava once we get to 32 stacks of it. So from our rewards, we also have 4 flux blocks, a basic flux storage, and a Herculean flux storage. So if we go in and look at Flux now, Herculean storage is like the middle tier. The Gargantuan is the biggest. It uses 6 of those to make Herculean storage. Uses 6 of the basics to make one of the. So for now, I think I'm just going to use the Herculean one. It stores 8 million FE, and then we can increase it to do the larger one later. And the big thing we need to make first is our Flux controller. Now the Flux dust, I have made some off camera, but you just take lava, redstone, titanium dust, and combine it at low temperature. I already have the jar set up for that. So I made a whole stack of Flux dust, and we have our Flux blocks are just made from the Flux dust and Flux cores. So what we need to get next is some Eyes of Ender so we can make a handful of these Flux cores. So we have Ender pearls being made over here. We have 9 stacks of them now. Grab a stack of those. As far as blaze powder, we get that from our sluice, so we can get some of that. Okay, I only have 2. I guess I don't get blaze powder from. Alright, automating our blaze powder is a simple matter of getting a sluice set up. Because if you sluice through either gold or diamond mesh, through lava, we get all the blaze powder we could. So I've started getting that set up here. Made another sluice. I put it up, lined up with the other ones, just piping easier underneath. I have it here lined up with where my netherrack is on. So the netherrack you can pipe out this way. Oh, I have it locked. That's excellent. Come on. And so then we want to go one more out. Oh no, right. And then on here, what we want to set up is another oak drawer. So we can see it. We're going to set this drawer to pipe from the extract. What that's going to do is it's going to keep pulling netherrack out of that drawer until this one. That means this hammer. I have it. I always get these backwards. Now this is going to pull in netherrack. Going to output crushed netherrack. Going to unlock this. Lock it. Now we have crushed netherrack. Piling up in here. We need to get lava running from underneath to go over there. And then we have lava. Here it is just put into this tank. Like from plenty of flip pipes. Now the only thing we need to do is keep an eye on that lava. Sure that we're not doing too much because we have an excess of it in that system. Why I'm not setting up a separate lava. I did make all the components we add in another auto processing block that can feed lava in here if we need to. We'll just keep an eye to see how it does. So now the last thing we need to do is make a mesh. So for a mesh we need string in this wall from our farm. And then the only difference between doing diamond mesh, gold mesh, is that with the diamond mesh, we won't get nether wart and we won't get nether sprouts. Both of which I can grow separately if I need to. And the rates are much higher on these. So we're going to use the diamond mesh. So for the diamond mesh, now we need diamonds. Probably still need sticks. Do this. Craft ourselves a diamond mesh. Once I put this in, we should start getting items processing. So before we do that, I want to put chest down here. Put this in. Crushed netherrack would get processed. Now we have items coming in here. And all we need to do... pipe that comes from over here. Goes up. Then we just need to take our pipe wrench, set this extract. Then we'll go in and fill up that box. That means we have everything processing. We'll have to add a couple of things to our storage wall because we're getting some new things that we didn't get before. But that's not... we have plenty of space. Let's close this up. This. So now, I know solium dust is something we're definitely going to need to find a spot for. Right there looks good for now. And then we'll see what else we get. I know cobalt is something eventually we'll get that we don't have a spot for. But everything else should be processed. So we'll let it run and then see what we get. Now we should be getting blaze powder coming in pretty consistently. My setup with the 3 cobble gens was not quite keeping up with lava. And I'm sure I could probably just have 1 cobble gen and connect all these to the same one. But I kind of like the... can't see the jars for some render in. But we are definitely getting a surplus of lava now, or at least we're staying stable. So that's good. I ended up moving it down below the whole setup so that it was just kind of more neat, more pretty regularly. But our blaze powder now up to 47. Much better than what we had before. So, I'm going to grab some of these. Our goal is a vendor with them. That'll be enough for now. And we'll let that keep processing as we go. So, to make our flux cores, other thing that we need is obsidian and flux dust, both of which we have. Obsidian is in here. Flux dust is already in our inventory. So we're going to make flux cores. I'm going to make an entire stack of them. Everything we have there is renewable, except for the flux dust. We'll make some more of that. To make our controller, we're actually going to need to. That's what I used all. Go get what we need to make some more of those, and then we will get the controller set up. So we need redstone and titanium dust. Redstone. Have any more titanium? Looks like I'll have to process some, so grab a stack of titanium clusters. We'll go get some titanium dust. Heat up. So the process for getting more flux dust, pretty simple. This low temperature jar, we make some lava. So we have some lava in there. Then we search for flux. And we'll the one that does 32 at a time. Oh, I gotta grab the titanium. So when you have 32 redstone and 4 titanium in your inventory, you run it, and that gives you flux dust. Do it again, and it's as simple as that. A couple more steps. So the next step is making our controller. Controller needed obsidian, flux dust, and flux cores. We just need to grab our obsidian. We will craft our controller. More flux block. Oh, I guess that was flux blocks. That's alright. So we have our flux controller. So let's take a look at the quest book so we can follow along what we're doing here. Flux network. So we made the flux dust. That gives us a little more of that. We have flux storage. We get flux blocks from that. We made the flux controller, which means we flux configurator. Take that. Now we need to make a point and a plug. So flux plug. Simple as that. Flux point. Redstone block. Those. Probably left crafting table on this. Okay. That's all we need to know for flux networks as far as crafting goes. Now let's set up our flux network. Now we're gonna have to find a spot where we want to do it, but for now we're just gonna set it up over here next to our power gen so we can demonstrate it. So the flux controller, once we go in, we need to create a new network. We're gonna call it Ender's Network. We'll have it be public because I'm the only playing on here. Purple I like. So now this is the controller that controls our network. As far as the storage, I guess we could probably sit that right next to it. Probably put it anywhere. But now this is storing net power on our network. So we have two devices: a point, which provides energy, a plug, which receives energy. So for now, what I'm going to do is just put this plug on this cable. We're going to set this to my network. We're going to leave it as it is. It's inputting 19 FE per tick, which is there. You can see our flux storage is now starting to store FE. So if we want to go, actually let's go do it right here on our material stonework factory. So back behind this wall, I have this stonework factory that we currently have this long cable running to. Let's disconnect the cable. And instead of doing a cable, we'll take the flux point, we'll put it on the side of this device, and we just set it to our network. And that means it's outputting FE per tick. not outputting any because it doesn't have any job to do. Is it out of lava? Oh, this is ran out of lava over here, so it's slowly catching up. My auto processing lava stopped. No wonder I ran out of lava. So now this is getting lava again, slowly. But so this will provide the FE that we need for this device, which means we can go back in here, pull off these. Cobblestone here. This power cable all the way back to here. You don't need it to connect any. We'll break it there. So that gets rid of that entire cable, and we are finally transmitting power wirelessly. Flux network. Now we have, in the future, once we decide where we want to set this up, this point won't be off of a cable. That was just to demonstrate how it works. What it'll be is we will put it on any devices that are making power. So really I would want to put it right there. But I'm going to move this whole setup. I don't want it in the room anymore. So I would put a flux plug on this setup, and then I could put a flux plug on our solar panels without having to run wires. This would receive the power, and then the points would send power out where we need it to. So it's a really simple, really elegant little process. So let's close this back up because it's working again. So now the next thing we need to figure out is what we want to do as far as generating power. And I think that it's time to go into power. So we have all these different things we need to set up in here. If we get to the point where we make a reactor, it'll generate a lot of power for us. And the main thing you need for a reactor is the uranite, the power fuel source for power. And we have been getting that large amounts from Flux. We're all set with that. And so getting the setup so that we can do large amounts of power processing through power is not going to take too much. But before we move on to more advanced power systems, I thought it would be more fun to use the systems that we have to their full. So I will make some more advanced solar generators because they make a decent amount of FE per tick, 120 or so. And I thought with one heat generator making 20 FE per tick passively, we could make 20 of them. And in years past, when I would play with the mechanism, I would set up these generators. Back wall here as a way to demonstrate. I would put one here, and one here, and one here, and so forth. So I could put lava in the spaces between. That way each one could have lava on as many sides as possible. But now, since we can use waterlogging mechanics to actually submerge heat generators in lava, I don't need to worry about that so much. I can actually place them right next to each other. So what I'm going to do, I started to try to mess around with the layout here. I'm going to change it up some. I am going to build a 6-section here that has 20 heat generators all connected into a network. See how much total RF we get from it passively. So to do that, I set up another lava generating system here. Just basic cobble gen auto processing jar that creates another bucket of lava every 5 seconds. So far we already have 200 buckets of lava in there. And then we're going to start with, what level do I want these? I don't want it to only on this level. So we're going to start with a level that has a channel that is 1 deep on this level, and we're going to fill that with lava. And then we'll put heat generators all the way across it. We'll submerge them with lava completely around. And from there, we will connect them all up and see how much FE we can generate with just passive lava income. So we have the basic setup. I have 10 heat generators here with lava underneath and lava behind. You can see that these are generating 6.8 FE per tick. This one on the end, because it has lava on an extra side, is 13.5. So if I take lava and I put it on this heat generator, this one now generating 13.5, like the first one. But this one generating 21.34. Now on top of the lava underneath, behind, to the left, we also have lava on the actual block. And then if we take another lava block, we waterlog that heat generator, then we get 29.9 FE per tick from that one. Now I need to put some glass in front here. And I'm going to use glass because I want to be able to see the lava, because I think it looks cool. But you could just put cobblestone down. Now we're going to take lava and waterlog the cable in front of it. And now it's generating 39 FE per tick. And finally, I'm going to put another heat generator on top. And let's grab another one, place that next to it. Now, and we will put some cobblestone around like so. So now we're going to take lava and we're going to log that block. And so now if I'm looking at the generator on the bottom, it's producing 69 FE per tick. And we'll get that much from every one of these generators. We're finished. What we need to do is go through and get the other 9 heat generators put in place, get lava put in all the appropriate spots, and get all the cabling hooked up. And then we'll be able to see our total FE per tick generation from this. So bottom row of heat generators are all covered with lava on all sides. Top, bottom, front, back, left, right. Top row only has lava on the bottom, front, back, left, and right. Not on the top yet. So our total power generation for this system right now, it actually says 971 in here. But that's because our system has filled with power. So there's nowhere for it to go. It's currently making about 1,700 FE per. The reason I haven't put the top on yet is because I want to put in, find them. Bag. My fluid pipes. I'm going to connect a fluid pipe right here. And I'm connected over to this. We're going to use our wrench. We're going to set this to extract. Now that means excess lava that we're generating will get pumped in here, and we're not going to be able to see it very easily because of not going to be producing as much Fe as we want, but it is going to use the lava that's in here to generate even more Fe when there's high demand. So I'm going to do fluid pipes that go the whole way across so that the entire top row is fed with lava. Then I can take lava from here and I can do these pipes. Looks like these pipes cannot be waterlogged. That's okay. I think I'd rather have the ability to pipe in extra lava anyway. So we're going to leave it like that. And that means we're producing passively 1700 RF or Fe per tick. And then when there's high demand, we'll go all the way up to the limit of these basic universal cables, which is to 3200 Fe per tick. So this wall of lava just sitting here, no input from us, no fuel needed, can produce 3.2k Fe per tick for us going forward. I do want to make a row of these advanced generators, even though I don't think we're going to really need that much power right now, just because I think it'll complete the look of the base. So I'm probably going to make 4 or 5 more of those, put them across the top, and make that our secondary power supply. But for now, we have all the power we need to expand out our farming areas and to do all the other things we want to do using some power until we get into much more advanced. So we're going to call an episode for today. We did wireless powering, including wireless, the ability to do wireless charging. Pretty cool. We've also increased our power generation to pretty high levels compared to what we had before. And we've also made it so that we can remove all of the spaghetti wiring for our power that was all over the base. So we still have a lot of that to remove. I'll probably do some of the rewiring for that in between episodes. During the next episode, I want to work on our mystical agriculture crops and some of our other crops as well, so that we can get all of our crops going here as much as we want them to be. So I hope you enjoyed watching the episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!